Hi, all. This is Dr. J,
And Spike.
streaming live from Long Island,
Island.
New York. The one and only Long Island, not California, but New York.
That's right. There is a Long Island. There's not actually a Long Island. There's a Long Beach in
Long
California.
Beach. The Long Beach
Yes.
is in Long Island, New York, as well as in California. Just like
Yes.
I grew up in Brownsville, and that's not Brownsville, Texas. That's Brownsville, Brooklyn. Greg is on. Hi,
Greg
Greg.
is on. How's it going,
You grew
Greg?
up in Brownsville like I did.
Brownsville. Well, why don't we say that we're from Paris?
Brownsville, Brooklyn, not Brownsville, Texas.
You remember that movie Paris, Texas?
Yes, yes.
Right. Where they were saying that the mother, after a while, would make the pause between the word Paris and Texas longer and longer and longer. So eventually she would just say, "I'm from Paris."
Very, very
Texas.
heavy right now. What's very, very heavy? There's a Brownsville, that's right, Brownsville, Texas, and Brownsville, Brooklyn. There are more people living in Brownsville, Brooklyn than Brownsville, Texas. And Brownsville, Brooklyn is just a little neighborhood.
Right.
I imagine that's true. I mean, I don't know.
Did you ever see that sign that says that Brooklyn, if Brooklyn was detached from the rest of New York City, it would still be the fourth largest city?
3 million people, right?
Yes, we have 8 million in the 5 boroughs.
Right.
And so I think, a good lion's share of them come from Brooklyn.
Right.
More than a fifth. Let's put it that way. I think only about 2 million live in Manhattan, about 2 million in Queens, 3 million. That would make 6. There's only a couple on Staten Island.
When I grew up there, it was heavily populated. Heavily. So I would say there was probably, of the 3 million people living in Brooklyn, probably 250,000 of them were living in Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Really?
And surroundings, East New York and so on.
Right. And the environs, as the AAA likes to put it.
Yeah. So last week,
the Brownsville environs.
Last week, you weren't here, Spike. You had family obligation, but we were 3 for 3 in football picks.
Certainly did. Oh yeah, we're doing that now, which is great because I'm actually I have a
Greg
funny
saw
story.
that movie about Paris, Texas.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Natasha Kinski. Well, yes. And Harry Dean Stanton, and there was one other person that was it was just really the two of them that were the most.
Harry Dean
Stanton. Harry Dean Stanton.
And Nastasia.
Nasty Kinky, they used to call her.
Yeah.
Back in the days when she actually was very generous with herself.
So I gave everyone 3 picks about a spread. I said the Jets are going to win outright. They did. They were 2.5 dogs against Washington. I liked Dallas over Detroit. I figured they'd rebound from the drubbing they took against the Vikings. They covered,
and they did.
And I liked New England over whoever the hell they played. I don't remember.
Right.
So those were the 3 games that I won. So now I'm gonna look at VegasInsider.com.
New England played the Eagles, believe it or not, and they won by 7 points.
That was a close game for a while.
Well, yeah, for a while actually. Yeah, no, I had much as I'm an Eagles fan, I went with the Patriots that game and did okay.
Hey, Cabinet Guy is on along with Greg.
Hello, Cannabis Guy.
Cannabis Guy. Yeah. Also that. Cabinet Guy as well as Cabinet Guy.
Right. And the Cowboys Lions was going to be a fun game, and it ended up being a good game. But Detroit, Cowboys really showed some backbone.
Well, I like the Cowboys. They're going to have a tough time this week. I think is it New England that Cowboys? I think so.
Yes, it is. Let me see what it's going to be.
6.5, right?
I'm looking at it right now. Yes, 6.5 at Patriots.
So who do you
I went with the Cowboys.
Who do you pick in that game?
I picked the Cowboys. I think after what they showed me last week, I think they're the real deal. I mean, I know
They beat
The
nobody.
Patriots at home, but the Patriots are getting a little tired. They let shitty teams beat them, so they're going to let a good team beat them too.
All right, let me go on the record as going the other way. New England, right back, will cover the 6.5 at Dallas. Even though I love Prescott, I think he's the real thing.
I think so too.
As well. But I think the New England defense is impenetrable.
Yes, that is a concern. If it was less than 6.5 points on the spread, I might have actually been tempted to go with the Patriots.
I'm going to go Patriots.
And we know what Cabinet Guy's doing. So
Cabinet Guy is a Patriot fan. In fact, he told me go Patriots last week, and I did.
He said, yeah, you made a good call. It was a good game.
Cabinet
In a way, the Eagles didn't show up for that game.
6.5 up at Dallas.
Yes.
We'll soon get a overwhelming thumbs up or something.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. So what were the games of the week? I know that one definitely is one of them. For me, the game of the week is going to be the Packers at San Francisco.
That's a tough game. 2.5 points.
It's 3 on my site, but a lot of people it's an interesting. It's a 60-40 split. Most people are going with the 49ers. But I'm not one of them.
Give me the dog. I'll take the 3.
Yeah, I mean,
come
on. It's Aaron Rodgers.
You got Aaron Rodgers against Joe Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo. That's right. They kept on calling him Jimmy last week. They were friends or something. Hey, Jimmy's doing great now. My friend Jimmy.
He's quarterback, but he's adequate enough.
Who's that?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's improved a lot, and I'm going to say that he's going to improve even more. That once people like Brady and Aaron Rodgers lead the game, he's going to be a name that's going to rise to the top.
Well, didn't Brady taught him everything?
There you go. Right, exactly. They were teammates for a little while.
He's a student of Brady's.
So there you go.
Cabinet Guy is a true fan. He's got that.
But look what he said. He said Pat's maybe.
Yeah, because you get nervous when you're every week. You say they're due to lose one week.
Like I said, they did lose to a pretty mediocre team. Yeah. Well, Kansas City's not a mediocre team, but the way they've been playing lately, I wouldn't have guessed that Patriots would have lost that game.
Well, you know what I like about the Patriots? They're almost injury-free outside of Gronkowski, right? They're healthy.
Well, isn't he out of the game now, Gronk?
Yeah, Gronk is out.
Yeah, so the funny thing about them, it's like, once somebody leaves, there's somebody else taking his place.
The other guy that's out is the Antonio Brown, right?
Yeah, but you still have what's his name, Edelman, who's
Edelman is one of the best receivers in football.
Yeah, so it's like I said, all of a sudden new names show up, and it's like Gronkowski who?
Yeah. Well, Gronkowski and Brown being out is a negative, but they're so good anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
They're so good.
But I'm still taking the Cowboys and the points.
And what are you taking? Who are you taking in the Niners game?
I'm going with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, me too. So
in both cases, I am in the minority. Did you know that, at least according to the Yahoo, the Cowboys Patriots game, despite the spread, it's a 75-25 split for the Patriots.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that makes me like the Packers even more. Oh, you mean the
No, I'm talking about the Cowboys.
You're talking about the Cowboys.
Cowboys Patriots, yeah.
They're taking the Patriots?
The overwhelming majority is taking the Patriots and giving out the points.
That makes me nervous.
Oh, Santa was out, right?
Oh, Santa was out. Okay. Clarence is here. Clarence, you a football fan? All right, so we got 2 picks. Well, let's do one more game.
Okay. The only other one that looked interesting to me was Seattle Eagles.
All right, Seattle Eagles. It's that's I don't know. I would have to go with Russell Wilson and company on that game.
That's the thing. I mean, the Eagles are the favorite by 1.5 points. The crowd seems to like the Eagles better on a 60-40 split. But yeah, I'm with you. My son sort of pulled me off by saying, "Listen, he may be MVP. This Russell Wilson. He's again, somebody else is the real deal."
Yeah, I just think that the Eagles are going the wrong direction. They're a good team, but not quite good enough. They may make the playoffs. Only may. I think they're going to fade.
Well, who's going to take over for them? You got the only ones they have to worry about is the Cowboys. The cabinet guy says Seattle.
Cowboys are going to win the division.
Yeah.
And the question
the Giants will be an also ran.
Will the Eagles get a playoff berth via a wild card? Probably, actually.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, so
yeah, so cabinet guy's going for Seattle on that one. Also, did Dr. J make his pick? Dr. J, you're picking.
We
Sorry,
agree on 2 games and disagree on 1.
All right. So, what are your official picks so that we have it for the record?
My official picks are 27-20 New England.
Okay.
28-27 Green Bay wins it outright.
Wow, that's going to be a fun game if what you say is true.
And Seattle, low-scoring game. Seattle 23, Philadelphia 21.
Interesting. So you got some underdogs winning outright, which is very interesting. Well,
just like I thought the Jets were the better team against Washington, I think Seattle is the better team. So I'm not going to let them being on the road stop me on that one.
That whole magic of that stadium, I think, is overplayed anyway. I like Seattle on the road.
Okay, so we agree on 2 out of 3, right?
We do indeed.
Okay.
Actually, do we agree on all 3? Because I'm taking the other. We don't agree. Cowboys, Patriots.
Yeah, you like the boys.
Yeah, I'm taking the boys.
I'm not rooting against the boys because I'm not putting my money where my mouth is, but I honestly think the Patriots cover.
Well, the funny thing is
probably will win, the cabinet guy says. Will they win by more than 3?
Something. I mean, yeah, right, exactly. More than 3 is it really, what are they going to win by 1? Nobody's going to miss a field goal.
I've seen scores like 23-21. I mean, come on.
Yeah, sometimes. As far as the Cowboys, I mean, an interesting notion is that, the Cowboys did let the Jets beat them. But, I don't know if I want to I mean, as much as I enjoyed watching it, I was actually at the stadium. But
you got really killed up in Minnesota.
Well, but the Minnesota's another team that's the real deal for me also. They're one of my faves.
Yeah, probably. All right, so let's turn our attention to politics for the moment. Did you see
politics? Yeah, I was watching all of that, and much as it seems to me, yes, he did everything they said he did, and they have corroboration. But I don't think it.
No, I'm not talking about the hearings. I'm talking about the Democratic debate.
Oh, the Democratic debate. Oh yeah, I was too busy watching the hearings. And so it seemed to me more of the same. Although they did have two new entrants, right? Although Bloomberg didn't make it.
Bloomberg?
Bloomberg and the guy from Massachusetts.
On the debate. He's not in the.
He wasn't at the debate, but the guy from Massachusetts was.
No, Patrick.
Patrick. He was not. Okay.
No.
Well, then he was there in spirit because all of the news reports that I heard about afterwards mentioned his name over and over and over again.
I don't see him. You already have 2 very qualified black candidates that I would be very happy with if I were a Democrat.
You're talking about Kamala?
Yeah, and these entering late. So you have
They
the
like him. They
moderates,
really like him. And,
brilliant.
well, maybe Cabinet guy could have some inside track on this, but they really like him up there.
Yeah. Well, cabinet guy is not from Massachusetts, so he's from Vermont, neighboring state.
Well, I'm saying the neighborhood. Yeah. Well, he may, but I didn't get the sense that he was a Bernie fan.
What Mayor Pete is getting all the Momo.
Yes.
The guy from what is it? Notre Dame, South Bend,
Indiana.
South Bend, Indiana. The guy from Notre Dame. I mean, that's how many people live in Notre Dame outside of those the college?
Oh, everybody in the Midwest says they're about an hour from every other major city.
Yeah.
I'm just an hour and a half to Chicago. I'm just 45 minutes to Chicago. So so
I think
I think they all know each other.
what's going to happen with the hearings is he'll be convicted in the House, but acquitted in the Senate. That'll be it.
Exactly. I mean, now I'm hoping they drag it on just to find more and more stuff to pile on, and then just let the people decide. Because unless they start throwing in, emoluments and obstruction of justice, as much as they caught him with his hand in the cookie jar, and if they find more evidence, they'll be sure that he did what everybody knows he did anyway. But they're all going to forgive him for it because he is who he is.
I want to see a race between a moderate Democrat and Donald Trump. I don't want to see an ultra left wing liberal progressive. They'll get killed.
No, I'm with you there. But let me ask you a question: wouldn't it even be fun to have a moderate Democrat against a moderate Republican?
Well, is Donald Trump?
Then we can be sure that no matter who wins, we'll still be somewhat safe.
But I mean, how would you classify him? He's not a real conservative.
See, Donald Trump is following the primary rule that my father taught me.
Oh, look what Cabinet guy says. Cabinet guy says we're going to get a lot of freebies with Bernie.
Oh yeah, sure. Free ain't free. But my father used to say, always dance with the person who brung you, and that's exactly what Trump is doing. He's dancing with the evangelicals. He's dancing with the hard right, and so it doesn't really matter what he personally believes. He's dancing with the person who brung him.
I guess. And the
so
to get reelected is to win the same states as he won the first time.
Precisely, and that's not going to be a hard push for him. So you're right. So any whacked out too much to the leftist is definitely going to have trouble.
So maybe you need a Midwesterner like a Mayor Pete or an Amy Kuchi.
I like her. She was the only person I gave money to. I never give money to these people.
Amy?
I gave money to Amy because I didn't want her to get tossed out of the conversation.
I think Amy Kuchi could stand up to him. She's a pretty tough.
Maybe she'll be vice president, which would be nice.
Enough politics because that's not our field. Let the do politics.
Right, like football is. Well, let's see. If you keep winning these picks, then everybody will become to you for football bets instead of stock bets. Excuse me?
Football is my passion.
Right, and the stock thing is just some sort of sideline that you make all your millions on.
Look, I mean, it's nice. It's good to make mind bets, especially if they win and other people can get rich off of them.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, I mean, like I said, I feel bad that I missed that whole conversation about Walgreens that we had 2 weeks ago. We mentioned it, and then we said, wait, Walgreens Boots, is that the company we're thinking it is?
Walgreens doing great.
Yeah, well, they took a little bit of a hit. I'm actually going to put them up for a second, just so I could look for myself.
Go ahead.
And, we were getting confused. Walgreens Boots Alliance is the name of the company.
You want me to share screen or you want to share screen?
You could do it because I'm actually still a troglodyte in this.
All right, so I'll share screen.
And besides,
As always, do your own due diligence.
I don't use the picture. I don't use the charts and
pictures. Do not constitute investment advice.
What he said. Yeah, okay. So about 2 weeks ago, it took a really nice hit over some takeover talk.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of moderating on that.
Well, talking about takeover talk, amrn, AMRN, will be taken out by the end of the year for $35 per share. Write it down. This is a Dr. J prediction. Write it down. You got it written? Did you write it down?
I'm writing it.
$35.
Maybe one of these days I'm going to listen to what we say and do something about it instead of just talking.
AMRN. And Oppenheimer lowered their ratings from a buy to a sell
On
amrn because one of their studies didn't come out quite that good, called Evaporate. I'll tell you about it later. But from $20, they were $24 at the time, so they knocked it down $3. And they're saying $7 target. Oppenheimer's a little weird, by the way. I don't like their forecasts either direction. Lately, they've been giving way out forecasts, very high, very low. I don't know. Used to be more reputable in my mind.
Oppenheimer, huh?
Yeah.
So what was that big spike they got a couple of weeks ago? What was that from? That was from the
Well, that was
takeover?
because the advisory committee to the FDA voted 16-0 in favor of expanding the label to much broader reach for cardiovascular patients.
Uh-huh.
And they advertise Visipa all the time. It's widely advertised. It's more than a fish oil drug. When every time I call it a fish oil drug, somebody gets mad at me. So,
well, at least you're not calling it snake oil.
all right, so you see this chart that gapped up on the news of the
Right.
AdCom committee. And by the way, it's not official until the 28th. Just because they voted for it doesn't mean the FDA has to listen. And the FDA will decide on the final wording of the label expansion. So,
well, then do you see that? So you don't see this as a missed opportunity. You're actually seeing this as now that it took a little bit of a dip down from the 24.
well, I don't have a lot of it, but I have an average at 18.
Nice.
And I'm thinking of adding, if it dips down to this level again, where it dipped the
20 and a
other
half.
day, 19 and a half.
Oh, 19 and a half. Okay. That's been a while since it hit that number.
No, that was yesterday, isn't it?
It went straight. Oh, yeah, I see that. That's
1960.
Right. I'm looking at finals.
I guess it doesn't matter much. I could buy right where it is. If it's going to go to 35, like I think it will, so what?
You're right. Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So I might buy more of this. And the competition is acst. They're in phase 2 only. So drug is approved and so on. Let's call it the other not fish oil company. The other not fish oil company.
Non-fish oil, non-snake oil.
So, the chart doesn't tell you too much. You can see the pullback. You can see the buying that came in the last 2 days, although on light volume. There was heavy buying, it's heavy selling on Wednesday when I guess Oppenheimer lowered.
Right.
And then
That's what that last sell-off, yeah.
Kind of settled down. I believe another brokerage has a target of 27, which doesn't make sense to me. Because if it's going to be taken out, it's going to be taken out for like 35 to 40, something like that.
You think there's that much potential in this snake oil drug? I mean, this fish oil drug?
No, I think what's going to happen is one of the biotechs will move on it before the 28th. Because after the 28th, if the label expansion is really inclusive, then that'll be worth more than $40. So if I had it in mind, if I had a Lipitor going off patent like Pfizer,
right,
I might just consider this company as a steal at $35.
It's very interesting.
That's
so you're actually looking for a really short time horizon. You're looking at
really
something's going to hit one way or the other by the end of the month.
I think so. I think it happens before end of year.
Interesting.
All right, let me put in acst. ACST is the competition, so to speak, but unlike unlike Amrn with an $8 billion market cap, this one has a market cap of under a billion. I think I'm not sure what it is, 200 million maybe. I don't want to look it up. Small market cap and plenty of room to run. This is the one I was in
And
at 80
you're saying
pennies.
they're a direct competitor in this space for the hard drugs.
40, 45. And I'm itching to get back in. I think today would have been a good day to get back in as it tested the 50. Notice the chart is nice. The 50 is above the 100, above the 200. So, and the price is above the 50, holding. So there's nothing wrong with this chart. Looks like a good buying opportunity, even though they're 2-3 years away from a drug being approved. I mean, I don't like that part of it, but if you were looking for a scalp, it's a great play. I think we buy it at 2, and you sell it at 230, something like that.
Well, you almost have one of those pennant things happening, but not quite yet.
No, but it's just a nice trend, and it doesn't want to go above this resistance that I drew in.
Yeah.
But like I said, for a swing trade, looks ideal, right? Back up to this level again.
Uh-huh.
One more visit up there. I don't think it's going to go crashing below the 100.
Right.
By the way, biotech is heating up.
So I've been hearing.
Yeah, the IBB index.
There's money in the sidelines, and people have this money burning a hole in their pockets, and they want to know where to put it. And so biotech is one of those places that they're doing. Because they're a little scared to do real estate. They're not happy with the banks because interest rates. We don't know what's happening with them. People starting to still talk,
you don't have to worry
about
about
negative interest rates.
Neither one of them are getting elected.
Who are you talking about?
Bernie and Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
True enemies of the drug companies.
Well, but not only that, but there are enough Democrats who don't want them.
I guess.
I mean, much as they like their ideas, that's pie in the sky. Again, those are the kinds of people you make vice president, so they have pie in the sky ideas, but then and they have their influence, but they don't.
Just take a look. The 100-day is the trend line.
That's true.
The 100-day is the trend line, and you do have one of those pennants forming. You're right. But I don't like the pennant when it's going up. I like the pennant when it's going down.
And that for you, that's a pop signal.
Yeah.
So pennant going up is a drop signal.
I'm looking to buy for the swing trade. $2 to 230 is enough for me. Or even
just make a quick buck and get out.
Make a quick 10-15%. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. And then you're right. And then before that pennant comes to a point, bail.
I hate to bring this up, but curlf is way outperforming MedMen.
Oh, please.
I know it hurts, but I'm going to show you the chart on curlf.
What is going on with cannabis? Is it not gonna happen? Is everybody just too worried?
Well, it's not happening fast enough. It will happen. It's inevitable that it will move forward and start being legalized country after country after country. It's just not at the speed that
legalizing and capitalizing are two different things.
Well, yes. I mean, the problem with cannabis is you and I could grow it in our basement, and we don't need to spend top dollar for it. You need to spend top dollar for it when you get arrested.
Just like all the wine I have sitting in my basement that I wasn't going to do.
Well,
remember those days? Let me make my own beer. Let me make my own wine. That stuff died really quick.
When it's illegal and you're going to get arrested for growing it in your basement is when you're willing to pay top dollar for it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's basically what I'm thinking. However, there are differences in the plant, and depending on who the grower is, the quality will be different. Just like cigarettes, So I see Curaleaf as emerging as a big brand name, maybe the Marlboro of pot.
You know something? I mean, I like this chart, not for anything.
I love the rounded bottom, like the cup and
Yeah,
handle type formation with the
exactly.
pullback. It's almost a perfect cup and handle, except it's not. But other than that, it's almost.
Right.
But it was stopped right here at the 50. And the reason it's not quite a cup and handle is because a cup and handle is usually a continuation pattern,
Right.
not a reverse pattern. But this is clearly already reversed. Clearly. Off the bottoms, this is a reversal, major reversal from 451 all the way up to $7 the other day.
Right.
True, it gave back today, but notice we have support at the 50. So I could see this one being a buy. What we had was a classic squeeze over the most of the week, other than today. The shorts was really squeezed hard on all the cannabis names. The CGC was over 20, came back, but all of them just zoomed. And I think CGC bottomed at 14. We should look a quick look at CGC.
Yeah.
Amazon,
Let me ask you a question about this. With all that red happening at the very tail end, is this idea that we're going to see a little resistance before it hits that next line?
this candle,
Yeah.
today's candle.
Yes, today's candle. Is that worrying to you or not?
Today's candle is it would be ominous looking if it happened in a vacuum, but the whole sector, it looks like if you go to every name in the cannabis sector, you're going to see the same red candle. So I think it's a healthy pullback before it goes forward again.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, even if one would think it could make it to that other line that you have, where there's that bit of resistance going on.
I think it will go all the way back to the
to that line, that run. What is that line there?
760.
Okay.
So
does that line have any meaning?
Take a chance buying it at the low of the day here, 605.
Right.
Look to sell at about 745. That's a big move.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's not. Was that about a 14% growth? 15%?
Well,
again, right, exactly. In a situation where banks are giving you a 0.5% and pay raises are only 2%, making 15% is actually nothing to cough at.
What do you think of Amazon? Is it going to turn the corner before
Jerry, I'm going to stay with what you said. Always buy Amazon.
When in doubt, buy Amazon. No, I agree. I mean, I don't see it challenging the bottom that it put in a little while ago. I think that 1600s number will not be revisited. I think the Christmas season is going to be phenomenal.
Oh, please, yes, unbelievably so. I mean, they're already talking about, like, for Thanksgiving, they're talking about a 3 or more % increase in travel. So, I don't know about you, but I've been, my wife's getting upset because it's not even Thanksgiving yet and all the Christmas stuff is coming up. So you're right. This might be a very good Christmas.
This is a beautiful bottoming pattern. You can just see the bottom here.
Yeah.
This is the support, very good support that it's been at. I think it's going to bounce around between the 50 and this support line until it goes through it. Once it goes through it, you're looking at 1800s again. There's nothing to stop it. It's just got to go through that 50. So probably the right way to play it, wait for a break at a 50 and buy.
Right.
And you could draw a triangle right in here. Definitely.
Right. Yeah, no. I mean, it's almost a signal to say buy now.
Yeah, it looks like a safe stock to buy. It's not going to revisit these 1600 levels.
Right.
1695 low. It's not getting there. So I feel safe about this level. It's not going to. I don't think it'll make another new low.
So you're thinking
you know,
this line that you have there is real support. We'll find out this week whether or not that line is real support. Or if you have to move that line.
1722. But what I like about this low is it closed right above the support line. So the
Yep.
close it held support to close.
Mm-hmm.
It only closed below once. That was Thursday.
Yeah,
Yesterday.
2 days ago.
Yeah,
Right.
yesterday. All right, so that's Amazon, and you got to go.
I have to go in about 5 minutes. That's right. Because actually, I have to go
So
now.
let's do one more chart.
It's the one more chart. So, did you want to do
CVM.
CVM since we were sort of talking about that almost every single time?
We're addicted to CVM.
Yeah, we are.
Celsi and Athesis and all these wonderful little biotechs. All right, now this.
Oh, we haven't gotten any. Oh, actually, we do have a request for TEUM. I forget what that one was.
You know what I did with my swing trade that I bought at 687. I said I was going to be out at 775. Well, it hit 791. And did I sell it?
Probably not.
Of course not.
No, you're waiting for 9 on that.
Dr. J decided I can't part with even my swing trade position. It's now part of my core position. So, the hell with it. I'm in for a dime. I'm in for a dollar. I'm in for a dollar. I'm in for a dollar. Whatever it is.
You're in for a dollar. You're in for. Well, there you go. You had the pennant, and then you had to break out. You had a downward pennant, and then you had to break out of it.
Yeah, and we did.
Yeah.
And what a breakthrough! It got repelled. It got repelled by the 50. It got repelled by the 100. But it's holding the trend line. Barely.
It certainly is.
Barely, but it is holding it. So come Monday, we're going to test this 50 again. We go through that, we're going to make new highs.
Understood. Why does it seem that almost every Friday we're at the precipice of some really big action?
We went through it on Wednesday and we didn't make new highs. Well, we didn't close above it. I want to close above the 50. Not only a close, I want some separation between the whole candle and the 50. How's that? I want to see air. I want to see air between.
Right. You want it right at this point. You might as well anyway. Where did you get in on that? Did you get in at that cross, that place where it crosses?
My average is about 4.
Yeah, I know that's early stuff too. I'm saying your more recent stuff, your more recent entry.
I bought 687 was the last purchase.
Okay.
But I also bought a little bit at 7-Eleven. You remember I told you my Yo 11 story?
Yes. 7-Eleven. Well, like you said, I mean, all right, maybe not 9, but 8.5 easy.
Let's see. Does anybody want us to chart any stocks?
They said TEUM.
TEUM. I'll do that.
TEUM. What is that? I don't have that on my list.
That's a technology company, Chinese company. It's a dubious ethical character. Their whole earnings report was kind of fiction. And I don't know how they get away with it because we do have auditing requirements for listing even a Chinese company. So I don't know how they did this, but they were claiming revenues that were sky high compared to the true earnings.
Well, it doesn't look like they're being rewarded by any means, looking at this chart.
So I think the name is Teum. Yeah, that's the name. And it was as high as $4 or $5 on these lies. $5, you can see.
And now it's moderating down to 42 cents.
Reality came, so did the stock come down to reality. So I can't recommend going into a notoriously unethical company that's Chinese. But if you want to take a shot with it, they do have sales and they do have customers and they are a real company. They're just a bunch of lying thieves. They should be.
Yeah, right. Except for that,
They should become. They
except
should
for that,
become.
Mrs. Lincoln, how'd you like to play?
They could become like Netanyahu, Trump, and Putin.
Right, right, and we know how much comeuppance is there.
Or who else is a thief? Probably Bill and Hillary too.
Right, you can't
They're not,
exclude them.
nah. You know something? Bill was pretty nasty SOB in his own right.
Hmm.
All right, but Hillary, I think maybe not. But Bill,
Well, she would have been
I-
tough on Russia, which is why why they ginnied up all that Ukraine stuff anyway.
you know, you're treading water with this company. You want to sit with it? You can sit with it at
Yeah,
these
I don't know.
levels.
I don't even know if
No
we should even
idea.
discuss these guys again. But you know, it was mentioned by
I don't like. I
Pixel
don't like
Fixel.
this company. I'd have to say, do not buy if you ask me. What do you think?
No, I wouldn't, and I wouldn't touch that with your money.
No, yeah, it just doesn't make. There's so many better things to be
Exactly.
in than that.
I mean, just even the stuff we were talking about. I mean,
Yeah,
I would even think about Walgreens again to see if somebody's looking to buy them. This whole idea between Xerox and not Compact, the other one, HP. Who's going to buy whom? That there's more interesting news there. Amazon's a good place to invest money. Apparently, there's so many other.
HP is going to pay through the nose to buy Xerox. I don't get it. That don't make sense.
Yeah. You would think that you know that the old guy would get himself a sexy wife instead of an old wife.
To me, you know what's an interesting play if you want a cheap stuff? The old BlackBerry.
Right. And
The
again,
Canadian.
this big discussion about content being king. The question is, do you see where do you see HBO going? I mean, I was watching on CNBC that discussion they were having with Malone, and there was some interesting things there about content that just however you want to play it or
Well,
how we
that's
want to
why I
interpret it.
don't like. You know, I hate Netflix. You know that. I think there's so much competition down the road.
Right. Well, one of the things they were saying was that back in the old days, when HBO was spending $2 billion on content, people thought that was nuts, and now it's being eclipsed by these companies. So something that has, I mean, and so Disney is definitely going to benefit from their library, especially since they bought out. They even bought The Simpsons.
By the way, we had almost double the 500 viewers that we normally get this week. We had 900, and my midweek report had 350. So we had 1,250 viewers. I want to have 5,000 viewers. It's not too much to ask for, is it?
Well, I'll ask my friends to start watching. That'll be another one.
Another one. That's how many friends you got? One.
All right, friends and family. That brings it up to 5. My mother will watch.
You know who can get me 1,000 viewers in about a day? Greg.
Rosie.
He knows the whole world.
Who's this?
Greg is tremendous.
Oh yeah.
Greg I think the only reason I have as many as I have is due to Greg.
Because of him, yeah, right, exactly. Did you hear about that Dr. J? He's magic.
Yeah.
All right, I do have to go now. It's 8:00.
Greg,
I have people knocking on my door.
Greg is one of the few people who likes me, so I appreciate that, Greg.
I like you too, Dr. J.
You like me?
And on that, I'm going to abruptly leave. And
I'm going to abruptly leave with you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, everybody.
BlackBerry is going to come back in my mind. You see this $6 level? It gets through that. We're looking at $7. So I think the hurdle is right in here at $6. Get past $6, it's clear sailing, all the way back to $7. So I like it. The bottom at I think $4. It's a turnaround play. I like this one, 486. Okay, so I'd rather own BlackBerry than teum. How's that?
Yeah, there you go. You gave one alternative. All right, I have to go.
I gave it. All right. With that, I'm going to say goodnight as well. Pixel, CVM has been good to me. You probably got in at 2 or 3, right, Pixel? Spoon, not today for sure. Kronos and VFF, ouch. Yeah, today was a give back day for cannabis, but maybe next week we will soar again. Okay. Bernie used to be a carpenter in Burlington back in the day. Not a very good carpenter, though. Well, he's not a very good senator either, is he? Maybe he is. One thing about Bernie is he's very enthusiastic, very energetic man for his age. I got to give him that much. He's older than me, and I don't think I could keep up with him. I'm sure I couldn't. Okay. Take care, Clarence. Good to see you again. Greg, Clarence, Spoon, Pixel, everybody who's on with me live from Long Island, New York. Remember my picks for the NFL. My pick for president right now would be a race between Mayor Pete and Donald J. Trump. Night all. This has been Dr. Jason Live from Long Island, New York. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already so you can get notifications. Give me a thumbs up. Give Spike a thumbs up. We miss you tonight, Rosie. Hope you can make it next week. Bye all.